Hello, this is Patricia McNeely. I just want to talk a little bit about the coronavirus and how it's affecting all of us. Now, some people are worse off than others, but just as a gentle reminder, I want to remind everyone that things will get back to normal at some point. In the meanwhile, I do plan to bring you updates because I know a lot more about healing, health issues, and the connections between your twin flame body and your human body, and how you can do just boost your immune system, get yourself up and running. I too have been working online for a long time. I work in person and online. As a person who works online and in person, I've sort of had my foot in two realms. I didn't always work online. That wasn't always a possibility for a lot of us. But it doesn't have to be daunting either. And over the next several weeks, I want to bring you just some information, tips, things that will be helpful for you, ways that you can get things done. I have a lot of great materials to help you get up and running, because one thing you'll need to be aware of is this. In order to stay healthy, you have to focus on your body. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it right now. If you're stuck in addictions, the same thing. And I have some really easy ways to get this done. Now, do you feel that some of this is daunting? Because, yeah, there's a distinct sense of urgency. There's a distinct sense of what I tend to call the sky is falling effect. Chicken Little, the sky is falling. But there are things that people build up, and there are times when you shine, and that things come out of you that you're not even sure how that came out. Like, what skills, what gifts do you have inside you? I've regularly run abundance classes for several years to help people bring things out of themselves that help solidify and move things along here. Because let's face it, there's only so many hospitals, there's only so many ICU places where people can get oxygen. The way that this virus affects people is some people have no symptoms and they're considered to be a carrier. Some people are very symptomatic, and what's happening is their respiratory system needs, or it starts to collapse on them. So how people are doing things with this is a process, because you have to take the mind out of the equation. You have to get yourself into the level of the heart. And I don't just mean the physical heart, because that too is being affected big time with all of these collective energies. I've helped so many people over the past several weeks as this wave is moving along. It's like the undertow of an ocean that has tumbled people about, but they can feel the fear, the anxiety of the collective. And it hasn't even mattered where in the world they are. People from China can affect people in the United States. People in Canada can feel it from people in Mexico. We can feel it from people in Europe. This is a global thing, and there's many global things coming out of people that have been the causes in ancient history as to why would this happen. Now, in a good way, this is something that is treatable. Even though there's not a vaccine, there is care for it. That hasn't been the case in past lives. And I was also thinking about the children, how children many times have been so worked up without realizing it about school shootings, what's happening at school. This is going to provide sort of a decompression effect. So you have to abide by the rules and not get angry, and hunker down and focus on what is most important to you. Help the people in your vicinity that you can help, especially your children. Children will be looking to you for how to deal with some of this. And if you're fearful, they'll pick up on the fears. If you're confident that we're going to pull out of this and we take a small time here to sort of regroup, gather up and become the hermit. This is definitely a time to be the hermit. Do not try to be all things to all people. It's a physical impossibility. And not only that, it's going to kick in a different way. This is a time to take care of yourself. This is a time to really notice what it is that, you have inside you, and you have to notice your level of health, okay? There are things that happen with the body that I'm fully aware of. Things that happen with the head, with the eyes, with the respiratory system, with the digestive system. Right now, we're in a section that distinctly deals with the respiratory system. And nobody wants to get ill with this. Statistically, the people that are getting ill with this and passing over have been people that are already at a risk for something, meaning they already have some kind of illness or disease. How does this tie in with twin flames? Well, you would be surprised if you were to find out that the person that you're in love with, that is your other half, what have they been subjected to in their past lives? What did they have in their past lives? What are they still doing in this life? Do they have an addiction? Do they smoke? Because this is going to kick out some of this in a tough way. It's tough decision time. It's reinvention time after the hermit phase. So everyone's affected by this one way or another. And the thing is that this is but one of the many giant global speed bumps that we're having here, as something that isn't really intended to wake us up, but slow down, take notes, plant, get ready. We're on the cusp of the new moon here too. What new moons are good for is dredging out things in a simple way, because I see a lot of the comments there, plant a garden. Sorry, we can't plant a garden where I'm at. It's already freezing level here. It just snowed. We just can't do it. We want to plant a garden. It's not time yet. So what do you do if it's not time? You make plans. You make plans for it. You plan the seeds, you draw it out, you get the seeds, or you order them online or something like that. That's what you have to do. What else? Well, a lot of people are homeschooling their kids, or the kids have to stay home, or the kids have to do e-learning. This is a challenge for a lot of people, especially if you're not accustomed to having the children around. It doesn't have to be a daunting task, though. One of the things to do is keep the schedule as much the same as you're able to. Take a nap during the day, though. Even if you're not accustomed to it, if you're home, take advantage of it. Take a nap. I think together we're all going to bring the Atlantis siesta back, because that's the origin of the siesta around the Mediterranean region. In Atlantis, we actually did take a block of time to get still daily. That's something that we've gotten away from. It's easier in some countries than in other countries. It's maybe not so easy in an urban area. Bring it back. Do some things. So I want to let everyone know that I was aware that something really big was happening. I was aware of this because I've had immense pressure on me to, get some things ready. Get it ready, get it ready. Get it ready for what I only had partial information, let's say 80% of the information. I could not have predicted this on a global scale, but I did know something, that it was going to start to be the end of the things that harm people. Things that there needs to be real, genuine change, really deep, genuine change, like real change. You're going after a virus, why not go over after some of the other things, right? But there's a step-by-step process to it so that everything doesn't fall apart. And the first part of that means that you have to be healthy. Remind yourself that you're here to be in love. And education of the heart is even more important than the education of the mind. That's a quote from Aristotle. So it's actually a very, very, I'm going to say this, I think this is going to wind up bringing a lot of blessings in disguise for us. I think that we're finally getting some of the attention where it needs to be. I know where I live, not everyone is out of work and not everyone is really off the streets. We are doing what they call stay at home or shelter in place. We're here, okay? We can still go out for a walk. Make sure that you go outside, get the fresh air, get the circulation for your blood and your heart. Get your bike out if you can. If you don't have it, get one, okay? Essential services are still available, but it's important to take the weight off of some of these systems, some of the weight off the systems, education and healthcare, because as more people go, the healthier you are and the better you're able to feel, the more that you will discern if your body really is, genuinely sick and needs things. And this isn't about getting angry at the medical system. Okay, because I talk to people a lot and sometimes people they have a symptom, the doctors don't find anything. You know why? Because it's metaphysical, and that's where I come in. So if you have metaphysical things going on, you would be overloading the healthcare system if you're in the emergency room. If you're in there for a panic attack, for an anxiety attack, you better be able to discern that from a heart attack symptom, because sometimes they can all mimic each other. And people are going to be feeling this. Why? Because this is affecting us right here, right over where the heart exists. Think about all the things that exist right over where your heart exists. Your emotions, your connections to the people closest to you, like your children, or some of the people at work. So the social distancing that's taking place is forcing us onto this sort of hermit mode. But I like to go with the Danish version of it, with something that they call Hygge. What that is where you hunker down and you make your home cozy and peaceful and warm and inviting with whatever things you can, however you can. Because, some of us are not in a southern climate. We get affected a lot by the seasons. And, here in Chicago, this generally has the feel of a snow day where we're restricted. We can't really go too far. And, a lot of us are happy that it is like that. We do have things available to us. There's not a total cutoff. For people that are generally healthy, you will get through this. And the best thing to do is to make sure that you don't give in to the general collective panic. So you have to remember who you are. You are an angelic human. You're not just human. But these illnesses, virus, germs, bacteria, bugs, parasites, leeches, lice, head lice, you name it, they can affect your physical body. You can't wish them away, because generally the angel that you are doesn't want to have to live with the vermin. Will want it out. So remind yourself of that too. You didn't come here to, let everything fall apart. But we're definitely in sort of this energy where there's a little bit of a backwards pull, scraping out and moving forward. Be kind to yourself. Remember that you deserve some rest too. And this is maybe a good opportunity for rest. If all of us sort of, rest, do our part, this will go a lot smoother. If we prolong this, it's going to go even longer and it will be even costlier than what they're predicting right now. And like it or not, this is going to wind up costing something, because it is still, making an imbalance out there with things. Doesn't matter how utopian we are, or getting to a utopian society. If you're angry, then you're contributing anger to the mess. Stop being angry. If you are, feeling frustrated, pause a moment and breathe and feel, how can you regroup? So I'm gonna have more stuff to come out with, but thanks so much for listening. And this is my first live stream. I have a lot of great information. I have written 5 books. I have my 6th book coming out on twin flame relationships, which is really excellent because it teaches you how to use your energetic bodies, your subtle bodies, for getting things done. So thanks so much. I want to thank everyone who has been here. I want to thank everyone who has been watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. I too have to take retreats. It strengthens me. And that's another thing. Remember that this is a time sometimes for strengthening, and not a time for weakening things necessarily. I talk to a lot of people in the healthcare industry, and I applaud them. Brave people, people who are the first responders, brave people who get up and suit up every day and get out there in the thick of it. And I applaud them. So thanks so much, and have a good day. Bye.